Justin, there you are. Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Good, good. I was just saying, I got a new iMac on Saturday, and I didn't have Zoom installed on it, so that was fun. All right,
Yeah,
so it's
got a crew
recording, so
here.
let's just get going. So, quick introduction, everybody. This is Justin Rothman. He is the closer at ClickSgeek. He's sold millions of dollars in Google Ads, websites. Um, Jesus, what else? Facebook ads. You can sell anything really. Soon to be software. We're gonna do some high level stuff in the future. So a lot of fun stuff. So Justin, everyone in the group sent me questions. So I want to go through and ask them just
Okay.
what about how you operate pretty much.
Okay.
All right. So let me go into my questions here. So I got two questions I want to start off with because I'm going to chop this up for YouTube. So
Okay.
best way to sell Google Ads, like what's your process from when a lead comes in into your closed CRM or whatever until it closes into a deal. Kind of
Uh,
walk us through high level.
Speed the lead. If anybody follows Hormozy, and I'm sure all of you guys do, since you guys are on the school platform, speed the lead's important regardless of what you have in place. Now, unfortunately, I can't set up an automation where a lead comes in automatically and it just sends them my calendar to book because I have to pre-qualify if it's a good fit for us or not, if it's an industry that we work in. So, I'll look at, I'll have a minute or less to take a look at the actual form that comes in, see it's a niche that we work in. If they leave blank information, I'm immediately texting them. This is not if I can't get them, if it's not during my call hours. I mean, I specifically respect my schedule between 9 to 5. Um, Call, book an appointment, send them my calendar. Usually I'd like to have them look at their calendar first because if I suggest a time to them directly, they're not going to realistically think and say, let me look at my calendar, or if a home service-based business, if they even have a calendar in place. So I send them my calendar, let them look at theirs, give them time to line it up. It could be something that it's they book an appointment in 5 minutes. It could be a day, but I always set a secondary reminder if they don't for like 3 or 4 hours out to remind them that I'm bumping it up. From there, we book the appointment. From the appointment based, I like to ask a lot of pre-qualifying questions. I treat everything like a
Walk us
doc.
through that, Justin. Walk us through the pre-qualifying questions. Like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, how do you?
So let's say, for instance, you have a junk removal company. Okay. So I'm treating it like a doctor's visit. I'm not the type of person that's going to go in and say, okay, well, here's our pricing. This is the budget that you need to have to get results. I want to find out where they're at stable wise with their company. So before I prescribe them, let's say a prescription, right? When you go to a doctor's office, they're going to answer a bunch of questions. What's going on? To find out what's wrong so that way they can prescribe a solution. The solution is a prescription or method of medicine, whatever it's going to be. So let's just say a loss like a junk removal company. I'll just talk about it that way. The first thing I'm going to ask them is where their current markets are. How far of a radius are they covering? Because if it's a 5, 10 mile radius, if it's for Google ads, Facebook ads, it's not going to work. There's not going to be enough volume to come in there. So if they're in a very rural area, you have to kind of treat it as and tell them like, listen, we can do this, but it's realistically the volume of leads you're going to get is going to be lower because you're going to cap out in your impression share, your search volume, things of that nature. So that's the first thing I'll ask them. Then I want to talk a little bit about the services they offer. So I'll say, okay, well, do you offer residential and commercial junk removal, right? You want to have the knowledge in the industries that you're selling to, right? You want to ask them questions that they can relate to. They know you know their business. I'm that's not hopping in and talking PPC or Facebook ad to them. I want to actually show them that I have knowledge and understand like their lingo of how they talk. So I'll say, do you do residential and commercial? Do you offer demolition as well? Because some junk removal businesses, they do demolition services as well. Then I'll ask them, are they the sole owner? Because that's the number one identifier. Do they have partners? Because I'm not having the secondary call with them because whatever I relate to them on that meeting, they're not going to remember what I said. I'd rather talk to both of them at once. Um, then I'll ask them if they have a website. I'll know if they do or not. That's more of an upsell approach, but realistically, I'll know that if they don't have one. I have to upsell them to be able to run ads because without Google Ads or without a website, you can't sell Google Ads. You can't set up a Google Ads account, right? Because of verification and legitimacy, realistically. Then from there, I'll ask them how many trucks do they have? Do they have a box truck, truck and trailer, dump truck, right? If they have one, two, or three. If they have one, a truck and trailer, you know where they're at. It's most likely a new startup junk removal company. I'll ask them how long they've been in business for, how they got into this industry. Then I'll ask them what their minimum to maximum tier pricing usually is. So what do you charge for a single item pickup? That's for one single item. It's their minimum. It could be $90. It could go to $150. And then I'll ask them what do they get for a full load or a full trailer? It could be 500, 600. If a guy says to me $300, it's going to be tough for that guy to get a return on their investment with ad spend. From there, I'll ask them how many jobs are they doing on a week on average. So it could be 1 to 5, it could be 10 to 20, 20 to 30. That's going to give me.
Hold on, let me pop in real quick.
Yeah.
So essentially, what you're doing is you're doing a lot of digging to find
Yeah.
out, which is actually the side effect of that is building rapport with them while they're going through this because you're shooting the shit with them as you're questioning them, as you're seeing if it's even a right fit.
Yep.
So it's building like that no like and trust factor during the entire sales call.
Yeah, so they'll understand that I have knowledge in their industry and experience in that. So it's helping me understand. They're starting to realize, well, this guy really knows about the service that I offer, right? That means he's worked with a lot of people in this industry, right? So from there, I'll ask them a little bit about how many jobs they're doing a week. That pre-qualifies knowing where they're at with their business. If it's 1 to 5, they're struggling right now. They're dealing with the small business roller coaster. 10 to 20, they're there, but what else do they need to do? Then from there, if it's 20 to 30, they're just looking to scale, right? That's what they want to do. They have a customer base. They're looking to build more customers, right? With growth. So outside of that, then things start to get fun. I'll ask them a little bit about their marketing, if they're doing paid, or anything organic, not paid. So they'll give me a list. If it's, I'll have guys tell me I'm doing postcards and direct mail, or I'm just doing signage, or I have a Facebook page. And then you have guys that are doing full service marketing. So I try to pre-qualify with this when you find the agency jumpers. This is the number one red flag with Google Ads. Have you ever ran Google Ads before any paid marketing? Yes or no? Okay. Yes, I have. Okay. So you've been in business for 3 years. Okay. How many agencies have you worked with? When was the last? Are you running them on your own, or have you worked with other agencies? Some guys will tell me they've worked with 1 or 2. They've never run Google Ads before. They've been running it on their own. And then the super red flag is like, I've worked with 5 or 6 agencies in the last year. All they're doing right there, that to me right there is a major red flag, because you're gonna in the interim, yeah, you're gonna make money on month 1, but everybody knows that month 2, 3, 4 is where the profits come in. These guys are in and out. They're just looking for quick results, and they have unrealistic expectations. From there, I asked them what their goals are. So with their goals, where do you want to see the business with their help, let's say in the next 3 to 6 months? That's another thing that's going to help me pre-qualify for them if they have unrealistic expectations. Well, I want to make $50,000 a month in revenue with a $50 budget for Google Ads. Doesn't work that way. The goals.
That's where you got to throw in the RE gold. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, yeah. That's going to be the huge question right there. That's going to really open the doors up, because I say, what are your goals? Why are we on this phone call? Where can I help you? Right. And that's where it really kind of opens up everything for you guys. Did I see Brian jumping on here?
Yeah, Brian's in here.
And you in here?
I am in here. How we doing, bud?
Good to hear from you, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Wanted to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah. Sorry, I saw you pop in, and I was like, I know Brian.
I know Justin's tactics. He's a great salesman, actually.
So, a little bit about the goals. That's going to really open things up for you guys to find out where they're at. That's like number 1. Then I'll go into my last pre-qualifying question is their budget, right? Like, what is realistically your budget? I understand you put $50 a day on here. Is that 5 days a week? Is that 6 days a week? Is that 7 days a week? What do you have for the next 3 months to spend? It's not about your monthly budget. I want to know what you have for marketing dollars, because if it's just 1 month, it's not going to work. Like, we need to make sure that you have 2 to 3 months of budget set aside so these ads go uninterrupted. Okay. So that's like my prequel. That's where I talk in the beginning. Well, I don't even really talk. I ask them questions, let them talk for a little bit, and then I figure out if I can make it work or not, because you're about 10 minutes into the sales call and you don't want to overlap. Like, I'm not going to go into a pitch if I can't help them. After I hear all that with their goals, I let them know if it's going to be a good fit for not, or I can downsell them onto a different service. If someone tells me for junk removal that it's a $50 a day budget, I know in my mind when I use my golden ratio, if an average cost per click is 8 to, let's say, $15 to $20, and I need to generate 8 to 10 clicks a day to convert, if it's 20% to 40% of them into leads, that their budget needs to be $200. So I will map out for them why I'm about to downsell them into another program, because it's just not going to make sense and it's not going to work for them. And they will be in and out. And this is why they've been jumping from company to company, trying to reinvent the wheel for their business. And it's just not going to work that way. So that's my pre-qual process.
So tell us about the product, the downselling product. So I'm assuming, well, because I know that you're talking about Facebook, because you can get way more for your buck on $50 a day in Facebook than you can for Google Ads. So you'll decide, based on the questions, based on the monetary questions as well, you'll decide where they're going to go, or if they even can go somewhere. If they can't, then you can either send them to like an educational piece of content, or one of our partners who does different things, right? You put them somewhere. You don't just.
Yep. Yeah. There's going to be there'll be kickback on it, and I'll basically tell them, like, listen, we do have another system, a platform that would be great for your budget, where we can generate you leads, because at the end of the day, I'm sure you guys all know this. Like, when people talk to me, I'm like, what qualifies as a lead for you? A lead's not a customer. It's general interest. It's people shopping around for a quote. There's businesses out there that they think that Google ads, Facebook ads, we're generating customers for them. It's not the case, right? So I will downsell them into, I'll find out if they already, that's part of why I ask, like, marketing wise, what are they doing? Because if they didn't mention Facebook ads, I know I'm going to have them roped in for it, because they have the budget for it. But does the budget match their management as well? Right. So I need to make sure, let's say if their budget's 40 or 50 a day, I'd rather it be for them if they were saying $75 a day. I have a little bit of wiggle room, because I know I can go down $30, and that could be an extra $300-400 a month where my management will fit in. But I'll go in on attack mode and tell them about Facebook and completely go over it and just switch the script on them and go over some numbers and say, I can go over some case studies real with you for Facebook. Or I'll mention, have you seen on our YouTube channel all the Facebook ads that we're doing? And they're like, oh yeah, but I just thought Google would be better for my business right now. So from there, I'll downsell them into that program. But it's not even a downsell, because realistically, we're still generating leads for them in that process. If not, if they don't believe in, they'll be, the kickback's going to be, I've done Facebook ads before. Okay, well, how did you do it? Did you do it your way? Did you do it our way? We have a proven system.
So you're downselling essentially their mindset is what you're downselling.
Yeah.
Like, get them off of Google, because it's not going to work for them with the costs. Like, the math ain't jiving. If you want leads, you want to run marketing, here's where you got to go. Here's why. And you kind of hold their hand and walk them through that process as well.
And they respect it too, because I will tell them, like, listen, you've tried doing this current budget multiple times and it hasn't worked. Nobody's told you why it isn't working. The budget, it's all coming down to your budget. It's not enough for specifically in your niche, in your markets. It's not going to work. And I said, I'm telling you, no, I can't do it for the right reasons. Like, I'm trying, like, and they like the transparency. And I'm like, I have a system that's going to work for you. And if you can commit to 2 months of it, you will see it. You will see the results. And then we'll go from there. If not, I will pass them along. I'll pass them along to our education courses. I will pass them along. I've been passing them along to the school now. I just had a home remodeler before on a call earlier. I didn't even get into the appointment, because I know home remodeling is a nightmare niche to work in. And I said out of the gate, I said, well, it looks like you're in a rural area. I said, that's going to be tough. And I said, secondly, I can't help you with PPC, and this is why. And I told him why. And he's already running LSA ads, so there's different things where I can't help him anywhere. And Facebook, he didn't want anything to do with Facebook. He said he was already running social media, and he had a bad taste in his mouth for it. So I'm not going to pitch him that, because if he had bad luck with it before, and he was really consistent on just wanting Google, I said to him, well, I think as a management, I can't help you, but maybe the course can help you if you want to manage it on your own.
Yeah. So you at least put them somewhere. So let me cut in because we only have 40 minutes here.
Yeah.
So we've covered how you take the sales call, how you start with digging questions, building rapport, putting them in the right product based on what your conversation was. Now walk us into, all right, you found the right product for them, putting them into the close.
Oh, the close.
Put them into the full Nelson.
Am I charging for my closing secret? I'll give you guys, this is gold. So after I have the conversation, if they don't tell me yes or no that they want to buy, if there's like that weird silence, like I'll let them, like after I finish my close and go through my pricing and map everything out, there's always going to be that weird awkward silence. They're going to say like, okay, what do I need to do to get started? I got to think about this. Like there's always going to be that little silence. So I literally hit them with this line. It's gold. It works for me all the time because it isolates the issue if they don't want to buy. So I'll ask them straight up, scale 1 to 10, based off what you've heard. 1, you wouldn't do it if it was free. 10, you'd be ready to move forward, but you can't use the number 7. Where do you think you're at? That is my closing. It works every time because people laugh.
Love
they think it's funny. They're like, damn, that's good. And it isolates it. Sorry, my cats are like attacking each other down there.
Good. That's awesome.
So they'll say, well, I'm gonna eat. Okay. Well, what's stopping you from being a 10? So it isolates, well, I don't have the budget right now. I have to talk to my partner. Okay, well, you have a partner. You told me before you didn't have a partner. That happens sometimes. You'll see that partner pop out of nowhere. It isolates the issue, and then it also is able to set where you can put them in your prospect level. If they're interested, like I'll put them in a rating from 10% to 100%, right?
You talk about in your CRM, right?
In my CRM, yeah. So nobody's saying they're a 1. They wouldn't do it if it was free because everybody would do it if it was free. But the usual objectives are it's pricing or they just don't believe in it. Like
how do you isolate and overcome pricing?
A couple different ways. I mean, at least
give us one way. Give us one way. Next question.
Oh man, this is another good one. Giving all this stuff away for free. All right. So you guys ever heard of the phone charger reference? It's like, all right, pricing. So we're too expensive. Okay, are you buying a price or are you buying a service? Oh, I just kind of want to know price. Like, pricing is kind of my way. All right, so we're, let's say $750 a month for management. There's 2 ways you can go about it. You say, I've got clients that pay more. I'm giving you a rate for where you're at with your business, or you hit them with the cell phone reference. So paying less for a service doesn't always mean better. So I'll say to them, what kind of phone do you have? I have an iPhone. Okay. So if your charger breaks and you need to go get a new charger, are you going to go to the gas station and buy the charger from the gas station because it's cheaper? Or are you going to go directly to the Apple store and buy the charger from the Apple store, but you're paying top price for it? Which one do you think is going to last longer and perform better for you? And that's how I isolate that because
love it.
They're done with that. They're going to realize that you pay for what you get for it.
Exactly. And the gas station chargers start on fucking fire and burn your house down.
That they do.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Dude,
so that's my drop on it because it makes them think. They're like, and they're like, well, I'm okay with the gas station. Well, guess you're not a good fit for me. And pricing is realistically like it could go anywhere. I base my pricing off of where I think they're at with their budget. Like if somebody has like I know the minimum to scrape by, like their bare minimum for us to get results, they're going to get our tier pricing. I always base off things where I send them pricing of where they're at with their business. That's why I'm asking them. Tow truck company has 10 tow trucks. They can afford to pay top tier pricing. So that's all part of the pre-qual, finding out where they're at. So that's where I know I can drop them into a bucket of where I want to sell them in.
Amazing, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let me move on because we got a couple questions here and not much time. So this is from Joel. He's part of the group. Is what would you say has been the key to consistently closing high value deals? And once a deal is closed, what are the best practices you follow to ensure the campaigns deliver with scalable results?
That's for me and for Fessel.
I know, right?
And for you, Rob.
I guess part of that's me too. So I would say your part would be, what would you say has been the key to consistently closing high value deals?
Staying in front of them. So I asked them at the end of the call after they want to commit for the onboarding, is there any reason why I shouldn't expect it back today? So that way it isolates that when I should expect it back. Sometimes it could be I can get an onboarding back, my call's done, I get everything over to them, it's back to me in 15 minutes. So, or it could be a couple hours, but they forget these guys are in service based. So setting reminders like in your CRM, like have something automated set up like after the onboard call, maybe 4 hours out, just make sure that you delete it if they do pay, because they're
Mhm.
going to get like a nudge. I'll usually say to them like, "Hey, do you have any questions or need any help?" Or I'll say to them, "Just want to confirm you got my onboarding and it didn't hit spam," right? Just to give them a kind of a reminder. Uh, and then giving them a timeline after that as well, because if somebody goes past 72 hours and they don't get back to me on an answer, I'm going to tell them I have to reopen the market. I have somebody else interested who's willing to pay more, and
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
So put a little scarcity tactic into
yeah,
it as well.
yeah. I say to people, if it's 3 days after that and they haven't gotten back to me, I'm going to be like, listen, I have a client or a lead that just reached out to me. They're ready to go. They want to pay more. I'm giving you one last chance to respond to me in 24 hours. If not, I have to reopen the market. And
Perfect.
it's
That's
it,
awesome.
sometimes it could be true. So,
All
but
right.
it's a scare
You're
tactic.
good. You're good. We got to move on. Keep moving. Keep moving.
What
This
we
is from
got?
Alex. I feel like you're going to like this one, Justin. So Alex said, without having any brand like we do, ClickGeek, what's the best way to close a Google Ads deal? He finds it hard to set expectations after people don't know who he is from a cold traffic, cold lead. So how would you, with no brand, close somebody who's coming to you? Okay, you generate a lead, but you have no brand presence. They don't know, like, and
Yeah.
trust you like all of
Yeah.
our stuff does.
Have you guys ever thought, like, for anybody that doesn't have like brand recognition right now, it's like, is there a friend or family member that it's a business owner that you could get a case study to build for? I know a guy in a white label agency that I worked with, he was doing things for his dad, who was a dentist, and that's how he was going to build his brand, because case studies you can't really clone ours because it has our information all over it. So I always say to people, like, you need to test it on somebody, maybe have to do it a la carte because for free, because you need to get case studies. If not, I think being honest with people and saying, like, listen, I've taken courses and certification classes, and it's the confidence in you and your service. I mean, the number one thing is, like, if you're not confident in what you're selling, or if they don't hear the confidence level, it's no one's going to buy from you.
Yeah.
I used to cold call and close guys off of just a cold call. I did cold calling for years. I think it comes down to the confidence and knowing what you're doing, and most importantly, building a rapport with that person, especially in cold calling. You have to build a rapport, and you have to have an awesome opening to get them in
And you
there.
have to be able to deliver.
Yeah, you have to deliver. Yes, it's hard to not when you have nothing to deliver with. I don't know if there's an answer, like if there is an answer for that.
Yeah.
I think it
I mean,
comes.
what I mean by that is, like, you have to have confidence in yourself that you can deliver.
Yes.
Don't sell
Yeah.
someone a pipe dream
Yeah.
that oversell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always set expectations lower and then over deliver.
Yep.
All
Set
right.
realistic expectations.
Yeah. I think that's
It's not a light switch. These things take time. I
all
need
right.
60, I need 60 days.
Justin, you like this one. This is from Kristen. What are the toughest niches to close? And what are the easiest ones to close? That's a good question.
None.
Good answer.
None. I mean, not everybody's closable. They either see the value in your service and they believe in what you're selling and what you're offering and how you can help them. Um, it's realistically, a lot of the guys, like they're Rob, I mean, you know this. I pass on people that want to move on because they're
Yeah.
not the right fit. I see red flags. Tough niche, what are tough niches? I don't really struggle with foundation repair is kind of tough because
Yeah.
you're really getting into it with like what they do with services wise. Like that's a niche that you realistically, and like Brian knows this, like restoration is a tough niche to sell, even though I don't have a hard time selling restoration when we're doing it. It's just that those niches, like where it's like limited circle, and you're talking about like emergency based, like if like a helical pier, like a bearing, like a wall breaks or foundation in a home, like that's something you really have to study and learn on YouTube. I would say like those really lower volume campaigns are the tough ones to sell because it's hard to set realistic expectations because of it being in such an emergency based, like you might only get like 5 or 10 leads a month. But the thing is with that is your the high ticket, like
Yeah.
one restoration job could be $5,000 to $20,000 plus, right? Same with foundation repair. Like one, it's like
Yeah.
it's lead to close, but they're just not getting enough. They're the companies that are not getting enough reps. So is John in here too? John Romano?
Yeah, John's in here.
I know him too.
Brian, go
Yes.
ahead, buddy.
We know
John,
each
we,
other. I don't
John, we
know.
spoke before.
We have. I
I think
just
so.
don't recall it. Sorry.
I don't know. I talk to a lot of people.
Brian, go ahead, buddy. Brian's got his hand up.
Justin, I was just gonna say
Yeah.
that's a good point. And also a lot of times at those restoration companies, they can't close the deal, or they'll just like give them a quote once and then never talk to them again
Yeah.
and never follow up. And I've since like reevaluated how the customer works with the leads
Yeah.
and like really documented or making them document what they did with them now.
Yeah.
To kind of prove the value of what I have versus if they can't sell, they can't sell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So Brian, to hold on, Justin, let me pop in real quick to Brian to top off on that. So I just got off a conversation before this call with Justin, and I think in Q1 we're going to roll out the AI sales agent for clients to book for appointment booking and estimates and stuff. So we're going to be doing some. I don't know if you guys have seen that and Go High Level.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I want to beta that really bad.
Be mindful of it. It is in like brand new.
Yeah.
Like, has a lot of problems. So
one of the biggest things we run into is guys, they just cannot, they don't know what to do when they call a lead. And if we can push into a calendar or to book them somewhere, I think it'd be cool to check out.
it definitely would be. Like I said, I'd be very careful and monitor everyone. And like since these are gonna be, I would start with your lower ticket customers first to test this. Right.
Yeah.
Because like people spending hundreds of dollars on a lead are going to be upset if the AI tells them to go to a competitor.
Yeah.
that's
problematic.
It's problematic right now.
For sure.
And it's just learning, right? And like you have to be on top of it. I almost feel like you have to be on top of that more than a person. And which is it won't be like that for long, but it will be like that for probably.
It's pretty wild because like 6 months ago, you could tell it was a bot because it would have that weird pause when you're talking, and now it's seamless. So who knows where we'll be in 6 more months? But I'm definitely going to get in on that.
Exactly. I'm really kind of laying some of the work right now on how we can onboard customers, make them pay for it.
Hell yeah.
B, make sure that it actually does help them convert versus become a problem.
Yeah.
But I just don't think right now, based on my tests, have been a
Not
success. Maybe that's me.
No, it's not there yet. No, totally cool. That's why we're going to beta it with somebody in a lower ticket niche first and see how it goes. Train it.
Let me know.
Yeah, for sure. I'll put it in the group, man, for all you guys. I want to open this up for any of you guys who have specific questions. I have more questions in here, but if you guys have a question, ask Justin. He's got like 10, 15 minutes left.
Yeah, I have 15. I'll try to keep my answers shorter so I can answer everybody. Sometimes I get going.
So does anybody have a question for Justin?
I have one.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, my question is, Justin, in one day, how many meetings can you book? Like, what's your threshold?
Well, I set my meetings for half hours. I'd love to be able to do them for 15 minutes if I could, but it's just not realistically possible. That's why we're setting up presentations to send off beforehand so I can kind of niche things out. So I would love to have 10 to 12 a day. I can make that work. I usually take my calls from 9 to 4:30. So I can probably do 10 to 12 a day, depending. You always have to remember, regardless of automations and reminders, there's going to be no-shows in home service space. It's going to happen. So I set a reminder a half hour before. Some people either show up or they don't, or they won't even tell me, and then they'll answer. So you have to keep that in mind. But usually what I do is I just call the next with that open spot. I'll either call I don't like to call them follow-ups because I hate that word.
All right, cut you off. Time limit. We got 9.5 minutes left. Steven? Stefan?
Stefan?
Stefan.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy.
When you do get a deal and like you close a guy right on the phone, do you take the payment right away, or do you just take the payment when the campaign is built?
We take it, so in the onboarding, it's pay of because our turnaround time is really quick. We have everything streamlined. It's like 1 to 2 business days out for build out. So I send out an onboarding form with a payment link for management and setup. They pay there first, then it takes them to the questionnaire, then it goes directly to me, and then it's off to my team.
All right, Tim, you're up.
Do you guys ever sell the leads themselves? So you just you take on the responsibility of the ad spend and everything, and then you're just putting a premium on that for your clients. So there's no cap on how much you can make a month. Because if you deliver 100 leads and they're paying you $60 a lead, and you're only paying $40 for those leads, you're making $20 per lead.
We don't do that.
No, we don't do pay per lead.
Yeah, we don't do pay per lead model.
Only because of the billing for it and
Dangerous.
the disputes and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Justin, you're up, buddy.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, so what CRM do you use? And did you steal that belt from Max Holloway? Is that a BMF belt I see?
That is a BMF belt. It's right here.
Badass motherfucker.
They
Got
said,
that was it last year?
Last year, they said to me, I said to Ed, who's Rob's partner, that I couldn't sell. He told me, he said, let's like have a fun game. And I said, sure. And he said, throw a number out there. How many clients you sell in a month to be able to get? And he said, I'll get you whatever you want. And I said, I really want this BMF belt. And I said, I'll do 55 in a month. Right. And I think I blew past that. I think I did like 59.
I think you sold 59. Yeah. So
something
59
like
new
that.
clients in 1 month. And that's like a real bad motherfucker belt. Like that was
Oh, it's real. That thing
not from
heavy.
Amazon. That shit was like $800.
Yeah. We were in a meeting just like this, and we were joking around, and I was like, oh, I'll do 50 plus this month. And he was like, let's make it interesting. What can you really sell? And what can we give you? And I was like, I think a UFC fight was on that weekend. It was one of the fights. I was like, oh, I want one of those. Just one.
All right, guys, we've got 7 minutes left. Does anyone else have questions for, I think.
Oh, I didn't answer your question, Justin. I use Close.
Oh, okay, cool.
Close.io, but I think I'm going to be switching over to Go High Level because there's just more that I can do with it.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing from everybody.
Yeah. Doug, you're up, buddy.
Hey, thanks. Just quick question. If you had to start all over today from zero, what would you do, and what niche or niches would you focus on?
Is that for me or for Rob?
Either.
Yeah.
You selling?
I'd stay away from roofing right now. I think I'd stay away from roofing. What I don't know. What would we do if we start from zero? You know, if it depends where pay-per-click is right now. I mean, it's tough. I'd probably I would say Facebook and automations, and
I'd sell fucking SaaS, dude. That's all I would sell.
Sticky
SaaS. Low ticket sticky SaaS is what I would sell. I just start over tomorrow, and we're going to do it. But yeah, any niche really, man. With the, like I said, all these other calls, the advent of LSA and Facebook ads and Google ads, you can put someone somewhere. There's always somewhere you can help them. But the biggest thing is, at least at our agency, is if we're going to put someone somewhere, we have to be able to help them. We turn clients away. Justin does on a regular basis, not because like they're bad clients, we don't have budget, but because we can't fulfill what they need. Like it's not within our scope, which sucks, but like we're not going to take someone's money and then like not deliver. So that's kind of how everything in our agency goes through that lens of we have to be able to deliver. And if we can deliver, we check that box, then it moves on to the process of selling them. But how many, like you turn away what, like probably 15, 20 deals a week?
Sometimes it depends. Like it could be 1 a day. It could be like 5 a week. So it could be 15 or 20 a month. It's not because and I tell them why, and they respect that, you know, and I always have a referral. So there's always for somebody of me to refer out to be able to help. So
yeah. All right, we got 5 minutes left. Sue's up. Sue's got a question. Go ahead, Sue.
Just a quick one. I'm just wondering why you refer to home remodeling as the nightmare niche.
Justin?
The cost per click went from real, like, you know, $100 leads to $300, $400, $500 leads. And we're not talking PMAX. We're talking like a regular search campaign, right? It's just that it skyrocketed overnight. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it, or anybody's a lot of niches, roofing affected terribly, home remodeling affected terribly. It's just that they have to spend $5,000 to $10,000 a month, maybe $10,000 a month, just to get results. Like you can't go by getting one lead a day. They're not getting enough at bats, and it's tough for me to like. It's just general an estimate. Like for somebody had to pay $400 for a lead just to get a quote or schedule.
It works well on Facebook though, very well.
Okay. And does that also play true for LSA ads?
I would think
We
so.
haven't run any in remodel yet.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably, I would say for paying for a phone call, it's going to be cheaper than a $400
From
lead.
ones I've seen in remodel though, in LSA, I have seen accounts from people that we are partners with. They're around, I've seen them at $80. I don't know where that holds to every market, but that's pretty damn affordable for remodeling. I take those all day long.
For to pay for an actual phone call. Imagine having like $350, $400 for a form submission that you called 10 times and they didn't answer. Like the highest quality lead is a direct phone call. So it's just that
if you got remodeling, Sue, put them in Facebook. Facebook does really well.
Yeah, that's what I have a guy that I'm trying to get all his ducks in a row, but like I think Monday I'm going to turn on his LSA ads, and he's a kitchen and bath remodeler, and then I'm planning to do Facebook ads for him as well.
Love it. Brian, go ahead, buddy. Got your hand up. 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you think that cost had to do with mainly the election or just more competition? Or would you say that there's a lot more spam out there of people going after clicks on purpose to kind of drive up costs?
There's a lot of reasons. I mean, what happened with Google a couple of years ago when overnight they just turned the light switch on and doubled their click cost. At that time, they were getting sued for the incognito lawsuit, right?
They just lost that.
They had the massive layoff.
Yeah.
But two, they're seeing that after COVID, there was a lot of people getting more involved, junk removal, home remodeling, roofing. So they were seeing the search volume go up tremendously. So for them to be able to make the money back, they increased the click cost. But then recently, does it come for more competition, search volume? Yes. But then more recently, I mean, they just got sued again by the state of Texas.
So we're getting into conspiracy theories right now. But this is true. Google has been caught manipulating prices. They're getting sued for it. And I don't know what happened, but we used to run, and I told you guys this in a couple other meetings, we used to run search partners on all of our clients 18 months ago, and it was fine. And then like a light switch, it turned to dog shit overnight. And it's all job seekers and other bullshit. So I don't know what they're doing, but I think the biggest takeaway from this call today is find a product to put your client. You could do something with them as long as you can deliver for them. Put them somewhere. There's always somewhere for someone. They need help. They don't know what they're doing. So if you have that expertise, you can help them. Put them somewhere that will have the most impact for them. And if it's not in Google, it's Facebook. If it's not Facebook, it could be LSA. If it's not LSA, it's something else. Fucking TikTok. I don't know. It could be anything. It doesn't really matter. People need help. So Justin, 1 minute left. Do you have any closing advice for anyone on closing deals, sales, anything like that?
Always be closing. That's like, it's just the speed. The only thing I really tell you is like speed the lead, not knowing how to like nurture these guys. Like after the call, like hit them once with the 3, like go by steps that you're not overselling it to them or now hassling them. Try to identify that number one thing is like when you'll ask them is like, can you get this back? Is there any reason why I can't get this back today? It's going to isolate if it's going to be 2 days, 3 days, but then hold them to it. Right after that starts going down as a lower chance of onboarding, like lower probability. So I mean that's would my number one thing is like after you close it, just nurturing it the right way from there. And if you ask them straight up, they're going to give you an answer like it's not from there. So
all right, dude, thank you for being here. I'm going to chop this up and I'll post this in the group for anyone to watch again, and I'll title it in different pieces so you can just jump ahead. But we really appreciate it, man. Good advice.
No problem, guys. Everybody have a good weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. It's good seeing a couple of you guys as well.
Thank you.